Hello, my name is David Campos. I am a content developer here at DataCamp, and I'm going to walk you through the anatomy of a lesson in this video. And this should be useful to anybody making courses on DataCamp. So you could be a content developer, you could be an instructor, and the purpose is to provide a general framework to build great courses on DataCamp. So let's get to it. Before actually going over that, let's first define a lesson. So what is a lesson? To answer that question, let's actually go to the DataCamp course and look at the anatomy of a course as a whole. So here we have supervised learning with scikit-learn, and this course is composed of 4 chapters, which is actually the average amount of chapters per course. So we have classification here, then we have regression as chapter 2, then fine-tuning your model, and finally pre-processing and pipelines. So let's go over and look at chapter 1. So here I've actually taken a screenshot so we can draw around this. So this first chapter is composed of these many exercises down here. And so what a lesson is a group of exercises that relate to the same topic, and they begin with a video exercise. So here's a video exercise here, here's another one, and here's another one. Video exercises begin with the little triangle icon, and then we have this one over here that is a multiple choice question, and this one down here that is a coding exercise. So here we have a lesson, then we have another lesson, then we have another lesson down here, and finally we have this lesson down here. So what's important to note again is that so a lesson begins with a video exercise, and the exercises that follow, the practical exercises, relate to what has been covered in the video exercise. So let's drill a little bit further into that. So let me go ahead and delete all of this. So a common anti-pattern that we see, a common mistake instructors make when they're first creating a course is, so in the context of a lesson, again with a video and the exercises, is that for the slides, which are part of the video exercise, they'll cover, say, topics A, B, and C, and you know the video exercise will have the respective scripts for each slide, and then in the exercises, the practical exercises will cover, say, topics D, E, and F. And so the rationale behind this is that we've already covered topics A, B, and C. We can build upon that foundation and cover other topics on top of that. Usually we recommend not to do this. And the reason is because if we give learners too much information too fast, this information spills out of short-term memory and learning does not happen. So what we recommend instead is, let me go back a little. What we recommend instead is that if we're going to be covering topics A, B, and C in the slides, let's also cover topics A, B, and C in the exercises, so that there's one-to-one mapping between the slides and the exercises. That is, if the student needs information about how to do topic A, they can always reference the slides and know generally what they're doing. So let me get rid of that for now. And so let me introduce now another piece of framework that is helpful when creating lessons here. So A, B, and C are really concepts or terms that we want to introduce for the learner to learn. So we can say that these are the whats that are being learned, the whats. But often what's missing is the motivation. why are we covering topics A, B, and C? So the why is generally the motivation or the reason or the practical problems that we want to solve using A, B, and C. And another thing we want to include is how to actually use A, B, and C to solve the problem that we're trying to solve. So again, the why is the motivation. So an example might be, say we're trying to predict the value of some stock in the stock market. And so for that, we may want to use something like random forests. So that might be the what, that might be random forests. The why is predicting the stock market. And the how is the actual implementation of the packages that we might want to use, or the functions that we might want to use with the parameters and the arguments. So it's the code examples that we present, so that when the student is doing the exercises, they have something to look at if they're confused or need something as reference. Just to summarize, what we recommend in order to build great lessons is the repetition, the one-to-one mapping between the slides and the exercises, as well as presenting the motivation for each of the concepts, as well as the implementation of each of the concepts. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions or feedback, feel free to reach out to me. Thank you so much.